Hey guys, welcome back to the Next Level Official Podcast. The duo is holding it down right now. Mr. Pelo is out on assignment. Keeping it real, he'll be returning next week.
And by assignment, we mean prostituting the streets.
Hey man, we all got to make rent. We all got to make rent.
Man's got a mortgage now. You know, he's got shit he needs to handle.
If you've got it, floss it, man. That's all I'm saying.
Is he flossing it? Or is he flaunting it? Or is he doing... I mean, if he's flossing it, wow.
I don't want to know what that floss looks like. I don't know
what... those W's.
Maybe a little bit of flaunting. Or some flautas. This went straight to flautas. This is going bad. We got to get him back on the tracks.
This is for you, Pelo. This is for you, brother.
We miss you. But he'll be back next week. So
yeah, we'll be picking up the cinematic portion of it, since that's what he does best, is talking about some of that cinematic news. And with that being said, we do have some interesting news with Avatar set to beat Avengers Endgame as the highest grossing movie after it is after a re-release, highest grossing movie. So let's talk about this very briefly. So
let's talk about this weird, creepy movie. Movie. It's in its 10-year anniversary. Trying to make more money. Thanks, James Cameron.
I'm a fan of the movie. I don't think it's like historically whatever, I just think it's a good movie. I really do. I appreciate the movie. It's just not a movie I can sit and watch again.
I've never watched it after that once in its entirety. I've seen it on television, for a split second. Once I see them start trying to connect things together and then start connecting it to their horse and into the tree. And
you just start thinking bacteria sets in.
They just put their stuff into everything, man. It's just too much of a free world, man. There's everything's got hepatitis C and B in that new world, man. Those digital bodies. I don't know what James Cameron was doing, but honestly,
did they film that in Wuhan? Where was that filmed at? For real.
I think it was at one of the clubs in Vegas where they're just sticking it in everything. They're let's do this. James Cameron had a very enlightening experience during that time frame of his life there. That's what generated this movie. But they're re-releasing it. They re-released it in China of all places right now. It made close to 3.5 million over the weekend, which is going to set it over in game. Honestly, I really don't care for I don't want to pay to watch an old ass movie. I'm not gonna do it again. So
my whole thing behind this is I'm really not cool with them just tacking on money. There should be the initial release, done and done. You have a re-release separate. It may be the same movie, but the re-release revenue should be completely separate and not just tacked onto, right? If that's the case, we could just wait another 5-6 years and then re-release Avengers Endgame and then have it beat Avatar. Well, that whole thing,
it's all owned by Disney. Disney's just trying to get more money at everybody. So
yes, and we know the Disney game. I got it. And those, hey, in China, there's, they've been
so. I made a mistake here. The re-release added 33 million to their Avatar's box office gains. So Disney does own both of these along with Avengers Endgame 2, but James Cameron is set to be, maybe this is trying to drop more
attention for part 2. I think
the next 2 sequels that are slated for 22 and 24. I don't understand why it took 10 years to get to that next one, but it does take a long sometimes to get to the sequel. Like our main release this past week, Coming to America 2.
Yes.
How'd you watch that? How was it, Noob? Was it good?
I watched it and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
My soul was glowing.
Yeah, man. From the very beginning, I was actually honestly a little skeptical, only because just like any good movie that you see or that you've grown up with and that's stood the test of time, whenever you hear something being, released, or especially a part 2, you're really questionable. You're like, fuck, is this going to like completely fuck it up, or is this going to, enhance the experience? And now it's going to make people want to see the first one, for those who haven't. And I'm really happy that it drew people in, for those who really enjoyed the first one. This is a perfect sequel, in my opinion.
They did a really good job, and I don't want to give a lot of spoilers here for those that haven't seen it. But they, the characters they brought in, they have Wesley Snipes, they have all these other ones. They brought in their old characters, a majority of them all, which was really good to see. Everyone getting that work done, but it held true to a lot of what was in the first movie. But I think you made a comment earlier when we were doing some discussions that Leslie Jones is hilarious in this movie too.
She was really good, man.
Just
really
the whole
good.
premise of it. I've seen people going back and forth. I thought it was a great movie. Definitely worth the watch, being able to get out there. So if you haven't seen it, it's on Amazon Prime. It released on the 5th, so it's some of their new content that they're coming out with. So I think it's exciting to see all these sub-servicers now putting out decent, good content from, what I would consider major titles.
Yes.
We also have this upcoming week. This is an important week. On the 18th, Zachy Boy is going to release his Justice League. I know Pelo is over there getting super excited.
Yeah,
they've been releasing a little bit more tidbits here and there, pictures, little collages. Everyone's
he's running around with that Zack Snyder underwear.
Everyone's got their collages and their little book bags that say Justice League, Zachy Snyder's cut, the best. So hopefully it's good, or I'm gonna have to poo-poo on it. It's looking better, but we'll see.
I'm just eager to see it. My expectations of movies, if people know me, are really low, only because I kind of like everything, and that's okay. That's fucking okay. It's okay to like movies, all right? Not everybody has to be a fucking critic.
Good movies. Right? But I will say HBO Max has kept everything on pace for their releases, which is really good. Unlike the Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is also going to release this week on Disney Plus on March 19th. It was slated for release last fall in their lineup, but with the whole pandemic, not that it had to do anything with production, it just had to do with releasing things. They decided to wait an additional almost 6 months to release this title. I'm not so sure about this. I know people love WandaVision. I had a hard time watching all of it, even with all the reviews that they had.
Did you watch it, or
I got to the third one? I'm done with it. I'm not going to watch it. I just don't see a lot, particularly with these two characters. I like the Winter Soldier, but it wasn't like he was leading a whole movie through any of it. In every instance he ever came out in, he was a supporting character. And then Falcon 2 has always been a supporting character. So it's can we get 2 supporting characters to equal 1 main character?
So my whole thing is this is very reminiscent of the whole style of Star Wars, right? So this to me is hoping to be that Rogue One that kind of just ties in to whatever is leading to. I
feel like it's going to be like a 70s detective movie where the 2 chums are going out there and doing everything themselves.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not, I'm hyped only because it's Marvel, but I just got off of the hype train with WandaVision, and I definitely have to say WandaVision was awesome. I really enjoyed that series. It really set up for a lot of different things, and I'm super hyped to see in which direction they turn. The whole vision, I'm super fucking stoked.
Do you ever feel like we just have too much superhero crap that's out there?
Yes, and I was just going to lead up to that, thinking that while this is great and it's really cool, to just have it tied in, and let's see where it's going. By that same token, yes, there is a point at which you love superheroes, but you can only fill the cup up so much, before that shit begins to overflow. And right now I'm it's gonna spill. It's gonna spill soon.
I understand they're money makers, it's just like when we talk about gaming wise, the battle royale, everyone's going to that. I just feel like I'm getting way too much superhero. And now they're, instead of it being the big time main characters, now we're to what's left of the side characters kind of deal. And it's like, hey, let's get the side characters out here. Who else do we got? Let me tell you something.
Yeah, you know what though, but this is why honestly I feel we as critics and outside opinions are so hypocritical, because there was a point at which we were fiending for a really good superhero, right? We got Iron Man.
It's not Falcon and Winter Soldier who I'm fiending for.
Right, but that's true. But even if, let's just say if it was another Spider-Man movie, if it was another Doctor Strange movie, like as enthusiastic like on the outside, as I'd be, just because, hey, they're releasing another one. Cool. This gets us closer to whatever they're going to, and we can see this like epic, outcome. It's still a little bit like, fuck, another one, like shit, man. Like, I feel like I haven't had time to recoup and like collect myself and just kind of, let it die down before amping it up again. And I feel like I'm constantly having to hit this high, and eventually it's just going to fucking drop. And that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. I feel like we've been waiting for these things so long. Like the hype train has gone over the edge. Now it's just like, oh, now it finally released, and I'm just not excited about it at all.
Yes. What is great to me is movies like Coming to America, right? Because those are old classics that are getting retold in a modern day, and they're keeping up with that same momentum. Perfect. Ghostbusters Afterlife, Top Gun Maverick. That's what I'm in the mood for. I'm in the mood for seeing where this goes. Like, it's been so long. Like, I'm really.
But even those like Ghostbusters, I'm excited about just because we hadn't heard so much about it. We've only getting tidbits. Like,
yes, yeah, they've kept the wraps.
And from aviation background, like that movie's full of crap. So like I have a hard time watching those to begin with. I'm gonna do a low pass at Mach 1 along something. Yeah, okay. Thanks there, Mr. Cruz.
It's like those YouTube videos where I watch where it's like a sniper watches Call of Duty, and it's like mimicking, and he's like, yeah, I would not do that. Like,
it's just exactly like, yeah, no, bro. He would get grounded forever.
He was doing something with Modern Warfare 2 or something, and there's a scene in which your character's coming out of a building, and there's a fucking helicopter, and you have to snipe the guy, and he's like, yeah, I really wouldn't use a 50 caliber with that distance right here, battling a helicopter. He's like, but by the same token, of course you wouldn't. Like, I get it, but it's entertainment. But it's so funny because they're super critical, and I could see their
dude. That's the way I was. Like, the Behind Enemy Lines was like, oh, dude, I can't watch this fucking movie. But to that aspect, another thing coming out of the grave and another iteration, you have Godzilla vs. King Kong releasing at the end of this month. We got 2 release dates here, so it's kind of interesting. March 26th, as you previously stated, in the UK, is going to hit the theaters, and then March 31st here in the homeland is going to be being released in theater and on HBO Max per their deal. Going to hit the airwaves. Looking at who's going to win, like that's the big thing. That there's finally going to be a winner. It's like, I mean, someone slapping them into the ocean. Like, dude, who you got your money on?
I'm Kong all the way, bro.
You're gonna go Kong?
I'm Kong for the waist down.
I think they're Godzilla racist. So I think they're gonna. The Godzilla's the one that would. He just beam them from wherever. Like, Kong ain't gonna be jumping over things. I think it's bullshit. If Godzilla don't win, it's BS.
I mean,
the system is set up against him.
I mean, but let's be real though. It's a Godzilla versus King Kong. This to me is kind of like what is it, Rocky 2, where he fights Apollo. And he beats Apollo, but then they become friends. Like, that's where I see this going. I mean,
they fought in the first movie too, right?
Yeah, but I just mean that's where they
get your Rockies right. Get them right. Those are classics.
Yeah,
can't be.
Right.
And then Noob's most favorite actor as of late. I just want to throw this one out. His up-and-coming Nick Cage's Jiu-Jitsu 2020 release will be releasing on March 20th on Netflix. 2020. You don't think there's a conspiracy behind that?
Get caged.
No. Get caged. So I'm gonna watch this just because I'm on a roll of watching all Nick Cage's worst crappy movies, which is pretty much every movie he's made. And
I'm not gonna lie.
I want to kind of see this one. I want to see what kind of jiu-jitsu Nick Cage is capable of doing.
So, what's really funny is I had went through this thing of watching Ghost Rider a couple of weeks back because I was on this kind of Nick Cage deal, and I had seen the very beginning of what's it called? Something in Wonderland,
Willy's Wonderland, something like that.
Yeah, and see the whole thing, like with him, like not speaking in that entire
Willy's
movie
Wonderland
was Willy's Wonderland. It's such a crazy concept, and it's just kind of one of those things you have to see.
10 minutes of it. I'm gonna have to watch it all, but it was bad.
But now it gives me this interest in Nick Cage because I've seen some of his other movies that he made even after like the big budgets, like Con Air and whatnot, and they're not horrible, but they're not great, and they're kind of fall in this gray area that
dude, like, you're not horrible. Range is huge.
But that's fine, and that's great.
It's like for him. Horrible, not horrible. Good.
Yeah. So, well, it's more like everything's allowable, like everything's acceptable.
I will watch everything.
You know, there's
I will not
what
watch
I won't watch, what I won't watch, what I will watch. You know, I mean, let's be real. But you know, the funny thing is, man, is that he's kind of pulling off this shit. I mean, he's making.
They're paying him. Steven Seagal is still making movies, bro.
Hey, let me tell you something. You got to do what you got to do if you want to keep that value up on that action comic #1. You know, I mean,
he's working it really hard out there, man.
So yeah, we'll have to check this out. You know
what they need to do? They just need to make like a montage of Nick Cage, like film and pictures, and try to sell it as one of these NFTs. Well, most recently, one just sold at Christie's auction, set the record for digital content release. $69 million.
Let's all say that
we'll drop
number
a picture
again.
somewhere around here of this bad boy. Apparently, it is set of 5,000 images that this particular artist has been doing since 2007. Put him in a big 1980s kind of montage. It's not a picture of anything. It's just all of them slapped together. Homeboy got this registered as an NFT, placed it onto this auction. As of late, he says only going for $2 million. And then within the last like couple hours, bidding shot up to $69 million. Rich people be dropping dimes like nothing else on these non-fungible tokens. I need to make one. I need to make one of me. I don't know. I gotta sell something, man. There's like digital cats being sold, making money, bro. I gotta do this before this bubble bursts.
You know, the whole thing about this just goes to show exactly where we're headed in a modern age with all the technology. This is a complete evolution of like photography, artwork, what people consider art. I mean, this is a huge change, man. And I mean, what can you say? Fucking 69 mil for some photos taken from, I mean, geez,
good intentions though. The particular artist here, and we'll link it in the description here if I can't put up a picture. It's for a charity auction, and he's gonna basically, now that this listing is closed, he's gonna change it over to Bitcoin. All hell the Bitcoin, and he's going to donate the proceedings directly to Africa's response.
But no one really knows who's the person behind Bitcoin.
Don't be giving my info that I gave you earlier.
Who is the person?
It may be me. All this luxury I live in.
Yeah,
it's just a front.
The background's crappy. As soon as you take it down, it's like this huge waterfall.
If one of our random listeners wants to help me make an NFT, let's do it. Let's make some digital moolah, and let's not give anything to Noob. That's all I want to do.
Well said.
What's going on in the gaming area? What's our big news for the week?
So some big news, man. We do have something awesome from Bethesda. We all know that Bethesda now has a partnership with, Xbox pretty much purchased Bethesda, and now we have some awesome games from Bethesda that are now available on the Xbox Game Pass. So we have Doom, Elder Scrolls, Wolfenstein. Those are currently on the Xbox Game Pass. We also have some all the like Doom originals, like even the
Doom 3, 2, 1,
yep.
like everything that they've had there. You got Elder Scrolls, you got the Skyrim, which is personally one of my favorite games.
Rage 2, which is
2.
also really awesome.
It's very cool that all this got finally released on it. Like we've been hearing it, you know, they've had like Doom 3 on there, but they just hadn't had the rest of the catalog. Everything came out. I was going to say Fallout.
I'm really happy that everything came out the way it did. And what I mean by that is like whenever you hear or leaks about, oh, this is happening or this is going to happen, you know, sometimes there's always something that, you know, hits the spokes and, you know, just kind of, you know, throws everything, you know, awry. So you get a little bit of what was promised, but you don't get everything.
Yeah, you don't get it all.
So to see this actually come into play, have everything that was talked about, and now we actually got it. Like we're not having to wait fucking years, or you know, this acquisition's taking a really long time, and you know, we promised that we'd have this, but we do have just the Wolfenstein games and blah blah. Nah, man, like this is awesome, and this really adds to the value of the Game Pass. I think that's something we highly talked about for people who, you know, have contemplated either getting an Xbox or even the games themselves. Even if you're already a previous Xbox owner, this is a great way to kind of get into these type of games if you have not played them. It just adds to an already massive growing library.
So the fact is, like, now I can play a bunch of games that I hadn't played, which is what I've been doing as of late. I haven't really purchased anything new, just been running these games. It's exciting. My only concern, you know, now that Bethesda, we always kind of talked about this, that now that Microsoft owned it, were they going to continue to release on other systems? Now that doesn't seem to be the case. None of their future projects are going to be releasing everything. You know, you can't get the toothpaste back into the tube on the older stuff, but like anything else, like PlayStation 5 is not going to get access to it, which is, you know, kind of sucks for them. It's good for Xbox in that whole battle of the war for consoles. But what really worries me is Microsoft has shown that they can't handle their own game studios. Like everything that they've created pretty much falls apart. Like they don't have anything native to them that's succeeding. And I hope they don't destroy Bethesda, because like Bethesda is like one of those groups that like every title that they put out was like gaining and like was a new move, not a new push forward necessarily, but expanded their world and just like had a lot of, I felt like artists could go there and create good content. And I'm worried about that because we saw what happened with Destiny. We saw what happened with Halo.
With 343 Studios,
343 Studios
Bungie, yeah.
And Bungie. Like we've seen all this. So like, that's my only worry. Like Spencer, get your shit together so that you don't destroy another studio in the process of trying to put good content out for your players.
Yeah, you know, that's a really good statement, man. And that's something definitely that I think, you know, people have to be wary of, just because Xbox is only good because of what they purchased. They really haven't done anything for themselves to put them in that spot, you know, where PlayStation, and I think in all honesty, that's where it differs with PlayStation, is PlayStation may have some different exclusive titles, but their shit just goes strong, man. They go ham. Well, and I have to give it a PlayStation. PlayStation has made a niche with their own unique games.
Amongst the battles that go out there between both fanboys, like this, the system that sold the most has always been a PlayStation. It was like PlayStation 2 was the most sold. And then you have the for the 4s, like going into 5, like you can find an Xbox Series X if you want, you know, or the X. You can't get a PlayStation. And that's, you know, all that arbitrage is going on out there. Just kind of shows where the demand is. But I'm just hoping that they don't destroy this studio, because I do enjoy the games that come out of this particular studio amongst all the other ones. So I just want good stuff to keep coming out, much like what we are just going to talk about next, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge.
That's right. We got a glorious new game that's going to be coming out. And coolest thing about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is it has that glorious sprite-looking retro look that we all come to love from the 90s.
Dude, remember 1991?
Born in the 90s.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time at the arcade and Nintendo. It's based like
Big Apple.
You can exactly, bro. Like I love that. Like They're going to be people who go and play this game who think that it should be like in now graphics. It's not. This is where this belongs. This is exactly what it looks like. We'll drop a small clip in here so we don't get hammered by YouTube's protocols, but we'll drop the link.
Don't want that ban hammer.
I'm super excited about this. I'm definitely going to pick this one up. We'll be gaming. We'll be streaming this bad boy. We'll
definitely be doing this, man.
I'll be running Michelangelo, looking for that pizza.
I'll be running Raphael.
Running Raphael. We'll give Donatello to Pelo. He'll be Donatello. He's not a Leo.
But
I don't think he's a Leo. Oh, but then he's going to be the leader.
Contradicting.
So, like, who's he going to be?
Oh, that's true. I know. Pelo. God, see, this is why. I'm waiting.
I think Pelo's a more Donatello.
I hear you.
I think he is. So Pelo will be running Donatello.
So this is going to be awesome. I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, especially if you guys haven't been following the latest news, there's a current comic series out right now called The Last Ronin, which details the fall of the Ninja Turtles, and there's only one remaining turtle, and it's pretty much the whole story. It's really
great comic,
so fucking good. Like, I can't even, you never have to be a massive Ninja Turtle fan to truly appreciate the story. The story itself speaks volumes.
Eastman and Laird came back for this one, so this is their baby,
and it was after 20 years.
Yeah, they had gone their different ways, so like it's a great conclusion to them. They started the storyline together. They'll end it together. Exciting as they drop. So this
is just great continuation of the fun that we experienced in the 90s. And if you guys haven't checked it out, you should really take a look at Turtles in Time, because that was just a fucking phenomenal button smasher. So hopefully we'll definitely be doing some more of this. And then we also got some news with Fortnite. We got Fortnite Season 6 starting in 2 days. So by the time you guys watch this, it may or may not be already out, but it's going to be on the 16th. We're going to have a new season.
I know Noobface is going to be playing and buying them 25 levels right off the bat. I'm going to have to clean myself up and buy some levels right now just to make the cut for the season.
It's really, and here, the funny thing is, I'll be honest with you, when I first started playing Fortnite, we were always doing team battles, we're always doing, duos, or I was doing solos and whatnot. But I've really found where my fun lies in Fortnite is the 4-player,
the squads
party,
or something.
The squad party where, where it's like
I enjoy
half a team versus half a team.
Yeah. I
forgot what it's called, party squads or some shit like that.
Like
but
that.
It's fun, man. It's really fun. And
I enjoyed that. I've just seen some dudes on like keyboards all turned to the side and like clicking and just building shit. I'm like, no, bro.
That's Noah, bro. That's Noah dominating the fields, man.
I could not, like, literally. I just watched this video where this kid had his keyboard and he was just like, click. Yeah. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, dude. They have not like fun for me.
They play like crinkled up and they're just like,
yeah, like,
and they're just like fucking going ham.
More power to you guys at Master Builders. I'm just. You all are Lego Supreme Master Builders. Rust.
You were a syllable off. I was worried.
Master.
That was good, man. That was good. So we do definitely have that. Just a quick shout out. We do have Rust on PS4 and Xbox. That's going to be making its way to the consoles in the spring. I heard a lot about that game. Survival type game.
2018. So it's an older game. First released a version of it in 2013. Now it's finally hitting Xbox, and the I'm not sure if it's on the patch or not, but it's going to be on, being able to pick up. It's a survival game. Most videos I see is just people beating up on each other in the game itself. So if that's your fancy, you can bring it from the computer over to the console.
Breaking up friendships,
total dicks out there, just beating up people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how the world works, I guess.
We do also have an open world Star Wars game that is going to be handled by Ubisoft. So this was confirmed that they're going to start making
Ubisoft.
This. I'm expecting some GTA-ish type deal.
Well, I mean, you had the Knights of the Republic, kind of open world first kind of ask, and you just had the recent one. Like I enjoy them, but I feel they're kind of repetitive where you got to reach the same spots several times over and over to advance the storyline. But to that effect, it's interesting. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. We'll see what's up. I mean, it's a Star Wars game. Can't go wrong with that. It's not,
You put Lucas on it, it turns to gold, bro.
Just
gold.
I mean, that's what happens. I mean, it's not like it's a Star Trek game and you're mentioning, it's Leonard Nimoy. It's just,
and you got to advertise like $9 million for $1 million deal.
Yeah. It's like what'd you make off that? Yeah. What's your revenue on that? Oh, you made only an extra
Picard.
$1
Where's Pampers? What?
Yeah.
What?
That'd be a great game. Picard and Pampers.
Put Pampers on Picard.
Pampered Picard.
Pampered Picard. Purple pampered Picards. Put purple pampered Picards precociously.
Oh my God! I know Pelo is just—he's difficult. God, we can do this all day. We can do this. Day,
and then most interesting,
like,
this is
you guys. Fuck you guys.
This is a title you have you brought to the table just recently. Valheim
literally served it.
Is coming to Xbox. Hopefully, we'll have a release date. If you haven't heard, this is a game that's been taking a little bit of storm, right? They have a early release on Steam that dropped on February 2nd. It's been exploding all over the place. It's got kind of a mix of Rust, Minecraft, Skyrim. You can see quite a bit of people have been streaming it. I know Noob's small circle of friends have been playing it. And I mean,
I don't even have enough friends to make a circle.
It's more of a triangle. It's triangle.
It's more like a dash.
It's an equilateral
holding hands.
It's a parallelogram. it's a dot. And most interestingly, it's on
I don't even
Steam.
have enough friends to go plural.
It's one friend. Instead of friends with all the little dots, it's just friend with one.
Friend.
You don't even say pivot. You just say turn. You're just like turn.
Yeah. Turn. Yeah, that's exactly how it is. So, yeah, we talked about this. And this, I mean, I'm kind of curious about it on PC. I have to pick it up and actually, see how it is.
You need to stream some of it. It looks interesting. It looks funny. One of the things that I've seen about this is it's just had a very successful kind of launch. It's come in under the radar,
especially for it being an early access. I mean, you really don't see a lot of early access games that gain that kind of momentum this quickly.
And this goes back to what we were talking about earlier with the Xbox and the PlayStation releasing with all their updated graphics and all this other jazz. It's always the content, man. Like this game, like from the reviews that I've seen, it's extremely fun to play. Like the building, everything is done very tastefully. It's easy. Like it doesn't have like the best building graphics right now because it's an early release, but it didn't oversell itself. It didn't say it was like, hey, this is the next Minecraft. This isn't the next, fucking Johnny Mnemonic that's going to be coming through. Like it just did not do that. And it is now doing so well. I love when games do operate like that, like Among Us, right?
Yeah. When they don't, they let the game speak for themselves. Yes. They let the game speak for themselves and they don't overhype shit, and then you're extremely disappointed. I totally agree with you. 100% agree with you. And I think that is what keeps the propulsion of a game doing so well is the fact that the gameplay is already good. So they just keep adding and updating to what is already a good game. And they keep that philosophy of there's no need to fix what isn't broken. Yeah. And I think that will always hold true to keeping good games great.
Keep good games great.
Keeping good games great.
That's going to be on your shirt, bro. Keep good games great.
Keep good games great.
Keep good games great.
Make games great again.
Make games great. We're gonna make money.
Start.
It's Bitcoin money kind of money. I'm just make games great again. Damn, it's genius, dude.
Dude, we just come up with it on the fly. It's, we are who we are, guys.
See what happens when Pelo's not here? Look at this. Just ideas.
Brainstorming.
He's our idea kryptonite. What's going on with him?
No, he's our muse. He's our muse.
He's a muse.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious, man. So, alrighty, guys. So we wanted to bring some news to the table. hope you guys enjoyed. We know it's been a while. We're trying to get on this fast track of getting things back in line, so bear with us. Thank you guys for watching and hanging out. And
we'll be in full force next time.
Yes, we definitely will. And like I said, we definitely have some big changes coming up, so be looking forward to that. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and when we go live, we'll be throwing out some posts to let you guys know exactly when that time will be. So until then, peace out, guys. Thank you so much.
We're out.